Now, I totally appreciate that people have been listening to different speakers all day and you're a bit tired now, so I'm going to make this short and sweet. Is that fair enough? Yeah. Are you okay for that? Yeah. Okay, not the director's cut. Okay, right. Now, the local enterprise offices, the 31 local enterprise offices in the 26 counties around Ireland are doing this thing called a trading online voucher. What is it? The trading online voucher is, it's a matched funding grant for your e-commerce website. Now, somebody said to me, I did a trading online voucher information seminar in Roscommon last week, and somebody said to me, what's an e-commerce website? I had kind of just forgotten that not everybody knows what these things are. Does anybody here not know what an e-commerce website is? That's fair enough. Perfectly fine. Okay. An e-commerce website is where you have a website that sells your product or services online. A brochure site is somebody, I think Denise mentioned a brochure site there earlier. A brochure site is where you display your items or services online. You can look and peruse it, but you can't purchase it through PayPal or Stripe or Braintree or whatever they're called. There's loads of different types of gateway systems, payment systems. The Department of Communications, Climate Action and Environment fund the Trading Online Voucher. So this is funded by the Department of Communications. There's robust funding at the moment. There's a massive push on at the moment by the department to get as many small enterprises in Ireland online and to help people to sell their products or services online. Okay, I'm just going to flick through this quickly. I'm not a big fan of PowerPoints, to be honest with you. Okay, so it was an action plan the government came up with to try and get as many businesses online as possible through this initiative. You can, up to €2,500 is the maximum grant you can get. So if you spend €5,000 or €100,000 on your e-commerce website, the maximum we can give you is €2,500. So if you spend, Derek, if you spend 4,000, excluding the VAT, we'll redeem 50% of that if you're successful in your application. 3,000 will give you 1,500, etc. Okay? Who is eligible? Small, medium enterprises. If you're up to 10 employees, a turnover of less than 2 million, or you're trading for a minimum of 12 months. Now, not everybody's trading exactly 12 months. The local enterprise office have a little bit of latitude there in that. Okay? We won't start putting obstacles in our way. What can the vouchers be used for? If you need to hire a digital marketing strategist to work on your project, and it costs €1,000, you can submit that in as a price. The development or the upgrade of a site. So if you have a site at the moment and you want to upgrade it to an e-commerce site, or you have an existing e-commerce website and you just want to do a little bit more on it, you can upgrade it as part of that, or you can develop a brand new site. It's for implementing online payment systems, obviously, customer fulfillment system. Say I want to buy 3 of your different types of bears in one transaction, which you might do, a 15% reduction with your code that you've given me. Go online. I'm definitely going to buy one of those bears. Okay, well, 4 children in our house love bears. Okay, so a customer fulfillment system, if I went onto your website and I wanted to purchase 3 or 4 of your items, that I could do so in one transaction. Internet-related software, people come back to us and say, I want to buy the latest Microsoft Office Work Suite with this. No, it's not internet-related software. It's not related. So, the development of an app or mobile responsive websites. Now, of all the applications we've had so far, we've had a few people who have wanted to develop apps. Apps are still quite expensive at the moment. We've had 1 or 2 clients who have used their trading online voucher for the development of an app. Now, mobile responsive website. Whatever website designer you're dealing with, who's worth their salt, will make sure that your website is mobile responsive. Like 50–60% of people now look at, they look at like phones and tablets and so on. So make sure that if your site looks good on the PC, it looks good on the laptop, it must look good on a handheld device. Absolutely important. Now this is very important, and I keep saying to people, and you mentioned it there yourself as well. Sorry, your first name again was? Alga, sorry, excuse me. That the importance of advertising online. 30% of your outlays for your web project can be spent on online advertising. So if you decide that I'm going to spend, €3,000 on your online website, 10% of that can be used for online advertising. Some people spend all the money on their website to upgrade it and make it look fantastic, bells and whistles and everything. And they have no advertising with it. And I always use the analogy, it's like buying a brand new BMW, but forgetting to put the petrol in. It's not going anywhere. So your online advertising promotes the site, it moves it. So you have like, you have like Facebook ad campaigns, Google AdWords, pay-per-click. There's loads of ways of doing that. Okay, I'm going to keep going now. The application process. Okay, the application process is quite simple, really. You have to attend an information seminar. Now, technically, this is actually an information seminar, a mini information seminar. Normally, I hold them once a month in the local enterprise office in Roscommon. It takes about 45 minutes to an hour, and I just go through the application process. And this is the actual application form here. You can actually download these off the local enterprise office websites. Okay? Now, it looks like a big document, and sometimes people go, oh God, there's like 13 or 14 pages in this. But really it starts on page 5, and then you go through it, and you know, you're told how to fill it out and what sort of language to put in, and you know, the people who grade them, kind of like I grade the ones that come into us, and then I hand them over to an evaluation committee, and they give them the rubber stamp to say you've been approved or otherwise. Okay, so basically you can download this off the local enterprise office website, whether it be Roscommon, Leitrim, Sligo, Longford, whatever, and you can fill it out. But you must attend an information seminar prior to that. That's part of the process. Okay. Okay, so you have to attend an application. You have to attend an information seminar. You can download a form off the website. The application form comes back in with 3 quotes from 3 web designers. Okay, so you're given your application form with 3 quotes. That's the standard now. Okay, now you will decide who your chosen web designer is. So we'll say web designer 1 is abcmedia.com, whatever. That's your chosen. Designer 2 is whatever it is, whatever atz.com, whatever the next designer is your third. Is your third quote that comes in. You will choose. You will let us know which is your chosen web designer. Okay, so we get your application form. We look at the application form in total. We grade it. I'm going to give you some inside track here. It's graded across 5 categories. First thing is overall suitability. We look at the application and say, is this business overall, is it suitable to support? The second will be the potential to increase your online sales. We look at your application form and we look at what your plan is and see, potentially, are you able to, have you good potential to increase your online sales? The next one will be, have you a potential export market? Now, of course, your first export market is north of the border. Okay? The fourth category that will be you'll be scored upon is your potential to improve employment within your business. And the fifth one will be the quality, essentially, of your quotes or your ICT proposals. Okay, so if you handed in a 1-page quote, there might be enough detail on it. Web designers can give you quotes between 4 to 24 pages, 30, 40 pages. Depends on who you're dealing with. But normally when a quote comes in, it's normally between 4 and 8 pages, and it's good quality. There's plenty of spec on it. It's let you know what platform it's built on. Is there an online advertising campaign factored into it? What training you're going to get? What social media tools, software integration stuff you're going to get using, etc. There is no physical voucher. What happens is, sorry, what's your first name? Tricia. Tricia sends in her application form with her 3 quotes. We grade the application and we'll say, right, you've been approved. What we will then do is we'll send you out a letter of offer to say, Tricia, you've been successful for your Trading Online voucher. You now have 4 months. It says in the application form 3, it's been upgraded recently. The document hasn't been upgraded by the Department of Communications. You now have 4 months to complete the work in total and pay for it, and then send us back all the information. What else do I need to include? Just your business trading in the application form. All the information that you need to fill in is there. Now, the beauty of this is that the local enterprise office, we're there to help people. We're not there to put obstacles in front of people. Generally what I do is I say to clients, I had 25 people there during the week for a Trade-in Online Voucher Information Seminar. I'll say, right, take your application form, come back to me with the 3 quotes. Before you actually submit it officially, we'll go through the application form with you. And I'd say you might put a little bit more detail here, you might take a little bit more detail off this section. So we will help you along the way. It's in our interest as well to assist you, to get you through. We're metriced as well, you know, we have targets to reach as well. We won't put anybody through for the sake of it, that's for sure. But what we will do is we'll make sure that you put your best foot forward in the application process before it goes to the evaluation committee. So Geraldine, what I would do in that situation is I would sit down with you, go through the quotes, go through every aspect of the application form, make little adjustments here, and then put it forward. Okay?
Is there a good time frame in which to do this? Because I know money runs out. So
no, it's a very good question. The funding for the Trade-in Online Vouchers at the moment is robust. Okay? For this
There's
year.
plenty of it.
For this year.
how many can we get?
Good question as well. You can apply once. We have somebody who have got 2 Trade-in Online Vouchers, but they were one person who had 2 separate businesses.
Oh, we can also have many, right?
Okay, and we only deal with one at a time.
Can the supplier be anywhere?
Good question. The supplier can be anywhere, but I'm going to come to that now in a second. That's one thing as well that I was going to cover in this area here, Geraldine, that will tie in with your quotes as well. I'll come to that, Denise, now in a second. Okay. Some facts. The digital economy last year was worth 8 billion. Well, this is department figures, so I presume that they're accurate. 8 billion euro was spent online in Ireland last year. 70% of that went overseas. They harp on about this and they give out a lot about it, but for me it's not a negative at all. It's positive. It means that Irish consumers are spending money online. Now whether they spend it in the UK or in America or whatever, it means that they're willing to pay. They're willing to spend. Maybe they might be able to get a product a little bit cheaper in the UK and so on. But if Irish businesses can match the product and the price, I think that they'll do well. So I don't see it as a negative, I see it as a positive. It means that Irish people are spending online. That's actually anticipated to go to 24+ billion by 2020. Okay. Just some feedback from the data that has come in from the existing Trade-in Online Vouchers that have been redeemed or given out over the last few years. That there's been an 85% increase in inquiries for companies. Companies have increased sales by approximately 20–21%. They've generated 1+0.4 jobs per business. There's been a 40% increase in overseas inquiries, and there's a 2% conversion rate inquiry to sale. Might seem like quite small, but it's actually not. Okay. I just said, how will the vouchers be assessed? Project suitability, export potential, job creation, increased online sales potential, and quality of ICT, in quotes. Okay. Right, now, just going back to that question. At the Trade-in Online Information seminars that we normally do, this is a compact one, Orla, I'm trying to get it down to 10–15 minutes. What we do is we give out a list of web designers that have done work for clients of ours or who have requested that we give out their details. But we've scanned them, we've checked them for testimonials. Any business, you can get any web designer to do your web work for you. It's an open market. You can get somebody in England, you can get somebody in India, America. The only difficulty you're going to have is what we recommend. We recommend is that if you're dealing with web designers, that you deal with Irish-based web designers, not Irish web designers. Because when you submit your information back to us, you're going to have to show that they are a registered company and that they are tax compliant. Okay. So that would be, do you know what I mean, Geraldine? Do you see now where the kind of credibility factor and the pricing comes in? So anybody that we deal with, we would have a list of about, I think there's about 40 people on our pages that we hand out to people. We don't recommend anybody in particular. Can't do that because it wouldn't be fair. So if you're dealing with a company outside of Ireland, then you're going to have to produce that they are tax compliant within that territory and that they're a registered business. That could be difficult enough information to garner. Okay? Let me just see now.
Can I just mention here as well to be really careful when you go out and look
for a web designer, not for the codes here, but for your website, because most of the web designers, and it's not talking them down, but I work with a lot of web designers for other websites as well. They tell you they want to show what they can do for you. They love their designs, they want to show off their business, but that's not always your business needs you have for your website. So I would recommend for anybody to find a good mentor before, sit down with somebody and dodge down on a piece of paper actually what you want, and then you go and see the web designer.
Are you sure? What is your vision for your website? Do you know what you want before you meet your web designer? Generally, of the group of 20 people or whatever it is there, you might have people who have very sparse knowledge of web design. You'll have people who have good knowledge, and then you'll have people who have, you know, medium range. That's kind of the way it breaks down, generally. I'd say even in this room here, there's people who are really au fait with web design. There's people here who have limited knowledge, and there's people who have medium knowledge. I'd say that's fair enough to say. Okay. What I'd advise people is that before they meet their web designer, that they have a clear vision of what it is that they want. It's your business, so it's your vision. If you go to a web designer and say, I'm not sure what I want, in my opinion, it's no longer your vision. It's their vision. Ultimately, it'll be an exercise in collaboration. What do I advise people? I have a web design qualification myself. I wouldn't be a brilliant web designer, but I'd have a good knowledge of how to make a web page. I would say, look at 5 websites that you like in your area of business. Kate, you're into ceramics plaster work, isn't that correct? You could look at artists from Ireland, UK, Bulgaria, anywhere. That's the beauty of the web, is that an art in particular in the creative sector, there's a universality to the whole thing that it travels and augurs well for sales. But it also means that the design, you can look at 5 different websites and say, or 6 or 10 or 20, and say, I like the aesthetic of this website. I like that one there as well. I like the fonts that they're using. I like the you know, the spacing, etc. Now what you do then is, you start to make a thing called a wireframe. Write this down, it's a little tip for you. Wireframe. A wireframe is essentially an A4 piece of paper. You just split the page into 3, you go, draw a line there, and say, there's the top of my website, there's the middle, and there's the bottom. Here's what I want at the top, here's what I want in the middle, and here's what I want at the base. Image in the top left, people read left to right, value proposition, images here, a footer down here with my social media links. I've said that very quickly. But that's essentially what you want. That's page 1. Here's what on page 2. About me. I want the same colour scheme. I want information about me. Okay, now you're talking to your web designer. All of a sudden they say, okay, this person knows what they're talking about. I can work with them, their vision. I see what they want. Okay, now I'm slightly deviating off. My job here is to tell people how to get a grant. Okay. Right, so to finish, we had 2 case studies selected from the Roscommon Trading Online Voucher clients. One was Justin Dixon here on the extreme left, now in the middle there is Mr. Andy Kenny, or Taoiseach Andy Kenny, excuse me, Taoiseach. Justin Dixon had a few clothes shops around the country, in Galway, the Midlands and Dublin, selling oversized clothes for men. He's done really, really well. Kingsize.ie. He was one of our case studies. He found that he started to do good business like overseas markets, and obviously to the indigenous market as well. Very nice guy, very shrewd. He also set up a company called BigFeet.ie. Big Feet. Okay. Another one there as well was Fergal Cormacan. Does anybody know Cormacan's bookshops in Roscommon Town?
Art supplies.
Art supplies is right, yes. And also they do, they have a shop in Athlone as well. They've had a family business over the 40 years. And they went ahead with their trading online voucher and spent a lot of their money on SEO and in particular on advertising. And they now are exporting their products to Abu Dhabi. You know, so great. So we've had great success stories. So in essence, somebody says to me, what do I do? You attend an information seminar. If you go onto our website, there'll be an information seminar up for the 6th of March. That's Monday the 6th of March. And it'll be on our website. You'll be able to book in by the end of the week. If not, definitely early next week.
And can I ask, if you're in Mayo or Leitrim or Sligo, you go to your county one, or can you go to any?
you go to your county one. We won't turn anybody away, Orla. You know.
But
But
will
technically-
Leitrim give out to me if I don't go to Leitrim, no? So,
Well, I'll put it this way to you. If we had clients coming from Leitrim
yes.
that wanted to come, we wouldn't refuse them, but we'd have the manners to notify Leitrim, Leo, that there were people coming. Sometimes it's just down to logistics that people are in the area
Yeah.
for the day.
That's my point.
But generally we would have 99% of our clients would be Roscommon based. So if you're based in Leitrim or Sligo, you should work with your own local enterprise office. These schemes and initiatives are duplicated across all the local enterprise offices. So what we're offering in Roscommon is the same as what's being offered in Longford, etc. Okay, so the application, you attend an information seminar. Now, if, Maria, you came back to me and says, Jeremy, would this cover me for an information seminar? I would say yes, and that you can apply. Anybody from Roscommon here? I would deem this to be an information seminar that you could apply. We wouldn't be putting obstacles in your way. And you know, say, but you didn't go through the application form. I'll say, come in and we'll talk about it. And we'll do it here. Okay, and I'll make sure that this thing is singing and has bells and whistles on it and that it's good quality before it goes in.